Yo, what's up? I want to make this video because I just wanted to keep talking about how stupid the TV mode is and talk about some more stuff about it. Because people need to know this is just really fucking stupid. So, the TV mode, I've actually gotten now to the point, right, where I am at a stopping point. I'm at a roadblock because I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Now you're like, oh, you're bad at the game, noob. Oh. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I wasn't paying attention to anything in the TV mode. I was watching BoJack Horseman. I was just looking down at my phone, occasionally pressing buttons to get through it. And then when I could actually play the fucking game, I would then pause BoJack Horseman and then play the actual fucking game for maybe like a minute and then go back to watching BoJack Horseman. And that's what I was doing for a little while. And it was working. And I even put the game on casual mode so I could get through the mini gameplay faster, so I could just try a speed run to the end game, because supposedly there's an end game and you can't review the game until you get to the end game. So that's what I'm trying to fucking do, so I can give my actual 2 cents on if this game's even fucking worth it to get through. And then I find out that, oh wait, actually, they did balance the TV mode in this game. They actually put challenge into the TV mode, because you can't just sit and watch BoJack Horseman or Seinfeld or whatever and just tap your phone and get through it, because there'll be random points where it's like, actually you're supposed to pay attention to what the characters were saying, and now there's some train event where you have to put bombs on it, or you have to put like a conveyor belt and get like some bunny rabbits out of a cage, and it's like, wait, what the fuck? I have to pay attention to this dog shit? I actually have to care about what's going on? I can't just speed run through it? So, yeah. Hopefully someone will make like guide videos on this game. They'll be like, this is how you speed run through all the dog shit content in the game. This is how you can get to the end game in 5 hours instead of 50 hours or whatever. But yeah, I'd be okay with some extent if they want you to engage with the TV mode, if they actually let you engage with the actual fucking gameplay. But I have it on easy. This is my alt account. It was my original account, but I picked the girl, and I thought that was a mistake, so I made a new account. And for some fucking reason, now I'm playing the guy on this account. So I don't even know what that's about. Maybe it's some story thing that I'm on or whatever. I don't fucking know. But this is TV mode stuff. This stuff's actually challenging. This is the actual challenge of the fucking game. See, have to go through his explanation. I think you can hit that, and it kind of makes you able to get through it. But again, it's stupid that it's designed for PC controls when this should be a mobile game. It should have mobile game controls. I don't know why it's designed for like PC controls when this is a fucking mobile game. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. But at the end of the day, I think I fucked up. See, it's challenging. You can make mistakes in this. You can't make mistakes in the actual fucking gameplay, but you can make mistakes in the TV mode. And actually, there's like ways to fail in this mode, unlike the actual game. So this is the actual game, because this is where all the challenge actually is. And if you got into the end game, see, I already failed again. I actually have to think what I'm doing. I can't just, and when I get to the actual gameplay, you'll get to see how much of a fucking joke that is. When I'm actually at the gameplay part, the part that you would think is the actual gameplay of the game, that's supposed to have the actual challenge in the game, is not actually the challenging part of the game. It's the little baby mini game. And this is the actual challenging part of the game. And I'm not even showing you the challenging level of the TV mode. I'm just showing you like what is kind of actually like one of the new early TV mode levels. So skip this. All right. Do I get to play the game now? Nope. Still have to sit through the TV mode. Still have to sit through it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can show off the riveting gameplay on casual mode, which is the mode you should be playing on, because challenge mode isn't challenge mode. It's narcissist mode, because it's for people who are terrible at the game, or casual at the game, but want to pretend that they're good at the game, so they pick narcissist mode. So that's what's in the game for. So let me show you this riveting gameplay of me hitting one button. I'm just going to hit one button, and let's see how hard it is to get through the game. I'm hitting one button. All I'm doing is hitting a single button. I don't have to be looking at the game right now. I could set my phone down and look off into the distance. I don't have to be playing the game right now. And yes, it's going to take some time to get through this. Maybe I could get a little bit fancy and hit some more buttons with one thumb and just do that and just sort of bounce my thumb between the buttons like that. So I guess you do have to play a little bit. You can't just hit one button, you have to hit like 2 or 3 buttons at once. But thankfully I have such a big thumb. I guess sometimes you have to move your characters. So yeah, I guess you do have to move your characters every now and then. That is kind of annoying, so you do have to play the game a little bit. So I think they should add like an auto like run to area feature. Because in that way, the people who play this game, like obviously all the development time went into the TV mode, so because they didn't put any balancing into this, it all went into the TV mode. To be honest, this is on casual. If you told me this was on hard, I would believe you, because this feels like the challenge mode difficulty. This doesn't even feel like easy. So I don't even know what the challenge mode difficulty even does. Probably is just flavor text. It's like, do you want to be known as a hardcore player or a casual player? Pick one, and it doesn't really actually change anything. So yeah, if I was actually trying to play the game, I guess trying to play the game will make the gameplay go faster. But again, at the end of the day, you can just do this. You can just tap the buttons. You can play this game one-handed. It's great for that. If you want to be eating like pizza, burger, jacking off, whatever you want to do, you can play this game with one hand. So you don't have to worry about, because the problem is you can't jack off and play Wuthering Waves at the same time. At least I can't. So, but you could play this game and do that. So that's what's amazing about this game. At least for that gameplay. When you get to the TV mode, then you're gonna have to let go of your dick and actually play a real game, because this is the real game. This is where all the challenges, this is where all the development time went to, is this game. So get through that. Alright. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to actually play the game, and I'll probably be able to get it through really fast. So I guess that's the reward, is if you like put in the minimal effort to play the game instead of just trying to beat it with just your thumb and like occasionally looking at where your character is, then I guess that the reward for doing that is that the gameplay has like no time on it. So again, this is supposedly casual mode, but this just feels like the hardcore mode, so I really don't know what the difference is, if there even is one. It just feels like the same game, to be honest. So even to be honest, it seems like the damage clear speed's about the same. I mean, yeah, doesn't seem like putting it on easy or hard does any fucking thing. So maybe it doesn't. It needs. Hopefully, someone does like a breakdown and shows the actual like numbers and percent and all that. It's like, okay, instead of doing 50 damage, you do 55 damage on easy mode. Instead of the enemies having 1,000 health, they have 1,200 health or something. Because it feels like that's what's going on. It's like they're technically harder, but you don't really notice it. That's what it feels like's going on with this. So I'm going to beat this faster, slightly faster, because I'm actually trying. But again, I don't have to try. I could easily just tune my brain off. I'm playing the non-meta team. I'm playing the default team you start the game off with. this is a gotcha game after all, so they're not going to make the default team the best. So you just get the meta team, and then you do the strategy of what I was doing, which is just kind of like this, where I just tap the buttons and hit the attack button when I need to hit, and just do that, and eventually he'll die. And since it's a gotcha game, you'll get a character that's overpowered, and then you'll be able to do that. I think Asmongold was able to do that when he was streaming the game. So, yep, that's what you'll do. So you can get through the mode. Don't have it on Narcissist mode. Have it on get through the story easily mode, which is casual mode. If you put on Narcissist mode, you can if you want, but you're probably only doing that because you're a narcissist. So, got through that. So I will have another clip later on that shows off the level I'm stuck on in the TV mode. So hopefully, like MTash or some guide guy that usually makes guides for these kinds of games, hopefully he makes, or she, or it, or whoever makes guide videos on this game for the TV mode, gives us a speedrunner methodology where you can just get through all this dog shit, and then you can get to the end game, and then you can look Tectone in the face and tell him, yeah, this game's still dog shit. Or maybe you can look him in the face and be like, you're right, this game's actually a masterpiece. I just had to get through the 50 hours of bullshit, but because of MTash, he's a real bro. He made the process go from 50 hours to only like 10 or 5 because he made all those guide videos or whatever. So yeah, hopefully something like that happens, because I really like what this game could be. I love the potential this game has for not just in general, but for mobile especially, because I think this game has the potential to beat Wuthering Waves on the mobile gaming market. But because of the way it's been designed, it's just dog shit right now. And I can't even get to the theoretical good part of the game yet because of this TV mode. So, yeah, I'm going to have footage in a second showing off the level I'm stuck on. And showing that, yeah, you can't just watch, Seinfeld, BoJack Horseman, SpongeBob SquarePants, whatever you want to watch, and then just, occasionally click this thing and get through it. You actually have to pay attention, which is even worse, because if you're not going to make it skippable, just let me speedrun it. But you can't, they don't even let you do that. So, yeah, I'll show that in a second. Yo, so this is the level. It's actually, I guess, not technically part of the main story, but it's something you have to do to get your Internet level up. It seems like there's more of, I have access to more of these missions than the combat missions on average, but maybe they're even, I'm not sure exactly, but at the end of the day, you still end up having to do this content because it's not optional content. It might look on the surface like it's optional, but it's not optional content because you need to get your Internet level up so that you can get through the story, because there's different roadblocks with Internet XP. So this is one way I can get it up. And they don't give you enough combat missions, so you have to do some of these, or you just, I guess, have to wait and come back like in a couple days, and then you'll have other daily stuff you can do. But yeah, so as you can see, I already have to go through a bunch of clicking and stuff. You see if I put the playback on, but again, if you put the playback on, that might actually work in your disadvantage, because then you might not hear what you need to hear. And if you don't hear what you need to hear, you might not know what you need to do. So, I think I have to come here now. So far, I'm able to get through it. So far, this is pretty easy. But eventually, it's going to become like Elden Ring difficulty. It's going to be like fighting that guy on the bridge, like Margit or whatever, with like a club, just a club in level 1, and it's your first time playing a Elden Ring game, kind of, or like FromSoft game. That's what this difficulty will turn into. So if you're a hardcore player, this game does have hardcore content in it. It's just not in what you would expect it to be. It's not in the actual gameplay where, you know, he plays like Billy and Nicole, Ambi, or whoever. It's in this. This is the hardcore gameplay. And what's nuts about this too is that there's actually no difficulty slider for this. So you actually have to play on the difficulty the developers intended. So it is kind of like Dark Souls in that way. So it's not like there's a difficulty slider for this, like there is for the baby gameplay, which is the 3-character minigame. But this is the actual challenging video game. This is where all the development time was spent, balance wise. You know, that's why on the CBT they just went out of their way to try and get this TV mode to be perfect. People wanted them to remove it, and they're like, well, why would we remove the game? Like, what? That mini game that you guys love, like, yeah, you know, we're gonna work on that, but this is the game that we are designing. So see, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I click on this? Oh, apparently I'm supposed to like do some conveyor belt thing, get them on it. So what? There is gameplay. There's mini game gameplay at some point, but I don't know where I need to go. So I'm gonna quit out of that one. Hopefully, someone makes a guide video for that level. Let's see if I can do another one. Maybe that one's just the hardest one. Maybe that's like Tempest Memphis. Maybe this is because, you know, in Wuthering Waves, the hardest hologram boss is Tempest Memphis. So if you beat Tempest Memphis on level 6 in Wuthering Waves, that's like a feather in your cap. Maybe this is like stage 1 or stage 2 of Tempest Memphis for this game. Is this level right here? So let me try, maybe this level is like Final Bengal or whatever, that giant monkey guy. Maybe this is their version of that tactical hologram. It's this level. So let's try it out. Because honestly, what I was trying to do back there, that's harder than Tempest Memphis difficulty 3 easily. So this game's definitely got some really hardcore, challenging content. So it's, you know, it is a challenging game. It's not an easy game. A lot of people think it's an easy game. It's not. It's just the mini game is easy. So let me see if I can go fight this mini game enemy, so I can get into the mini game. Now that I have it on casual mode, I don't think it'll affect this mission, so it'll still be on hardcore difficulty, which, since there's no difficulty slider for this mode, it's not on hardcore. It's on the in-between difficulty, in between hardcore and casual. But then again, maybe hardcore doesn't do anything, so maybe it's just all one difficulty, and that's just flavor text. So, you know, I'm gonna, you know, try a little bit, but it's just so I can get through it faster. It's not because I have to try, it's just because I want it to take a little bit less time. So if you want the level to last longer, I guess you can just, you know, play the one button strategy and not move your character. There's a bunch of things you could do to make this last longer, but I don't want it to last really long. I just want to get through it, because I want to get back to the actual gameplay that, you know, is challenging and difficult. This is just sort of flashy and nice to look nice and stuff, but it's not the actual game. There's no balance that went into this game. It all went into the TV mode. It all went into Soulhound 3. Those are games that actually have challenge. You know, Soulhound 3, you can die in that game. Soulhound 3, there's PvP in that game. Soulhound 3 is, you know, a very simple game, but it's well balanced. It doesn't have like really any flaws, in my opinion. This game has a ton of flaws. And again, yeah, it's a more complex game, but at the end of the day, Soulhound 3 is just a more complete, well-balanced game than this one. But it's not. You could argue that the TV mode's way better balanced than Soulhound. You could argue that the TV mode is a better game than Soulhound. You could make those arguments easily. But I don't think you can make those arguments for the minigame, where you play as 3 characters. Maybe you can make those arguments at the end game, but until you get to that end game, Soulhound 3 is the better game. So, yeah. Again, I think this one's probably a casual difficulty, but the other one I showed off, that one's on like a harder difficulty. So there's even difficulty progression in this mode. They even have difficulty progression, so they don't start off hard. They start off easy and they get harder over time. They add more mechanics to this over time. There's more going on with this over time. There's more, I guess you could even say, levels in this over time, right? So, like, again, if you look at the TV mode, it is the actual game. So, like, I mean, this takes way longer than the actual gameplay. Like, even if I'm speedrunning it, it's still going to take way longer than the actual gameplay, right? And you could say, oh, well, you're playing the TV mode, right? Well, yeah, but there's also the TV mode in the story. And I think combat, there's no TV mode. So when you get combat missions, but again, the combat missions, I think that gameplay was designed around the TV mode. So by themselves, those missions are kind of like whatever. They were supposed to be alongside the TV mode. So that's why those missions aren't that great. And see, now, again, I'm stuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. What am I supposed to be doing? Probably supposed to be putting boxes on the conveyor belt. That makes sense. Okay. So I need to do that, but I also need to be able to do that. So how, oh my God, it's like, I think you do that and then, okay. See, I'm already like, I actually have to think. I actually have to think in this. I can't do what I was doing in the other thing and just turn my brain off. I actually have to fucking think. What the fuck? What is this? I actually have to think while playing this game mode? And I don't have to think when I'm playing the what you advertised as the game? What? So, yeah. It's just, I don't, why? Why is it like this? For who? For what reason? Is it like this? MiHoYo. Why couldn't you balance the TV mode and the gameplay? If you want this TV mode stuff, you could do that, but you should have made the actual gameplay that you put alongside the TV mode fucking good. Instead, you made it dog shit. And it's like, at some point it'll get good. It'll get good at some point. Okay, well, when's that fucking point? Because what MiHoYo's shown me is that they've spent pretty much all their development time, all their balancing time on the TV mode. That's what they spent their time on. So, like, if the non-TV mode gameplay that's been advertised, it's the mini game really, if that is somehow really good at the end game, well, it probably would have been even better if they just threw away this TV mode. Because they would have actually given you difficulty progression instead of just making it tutorial and then endgame, which is what Battle for Azeroth has, what a retail WoW expansion has. And, it's okay that they have that because at the end of the day, that game's like 10, 15 years old. I think they're on War Within or whatever, that's the expansion now, and that game's like 10 or 15 years old. They realized how fucking bullshit their new player experience was because the game was so archaic and old and it was all about the end game at that point. So they were like, okay, we'll just let you pay to skip it. Maybe they'll add that to this game at some point. That'd be nice. I'd rather fucking pay $50 than go through this dog shit, personally. So, or $60 or whatever. I'll just pay that fucking price so I can play the fucking end game. That's what I'd rather fucking do. I don't want to sit through this dog shit. I want to sit through the TV mode. I don't play games like this for the fucking puzzles. I play it for the fucking frenetic gameplay mechanics. That's why I play these fucking games. So if you're gonna make most of the gameplay puzzles and bullshit like that, and petting cats and feeding the diabetic cat his stamps so you can get some fucking currency, it's like, that's not the fucking game I want to play. So it's bullshit. It's bullshit that this isn't the game. You're marketing this as the game. The actual fucking game is the TV mode. All the development time went into the fucking TV mode, clearly, or at least all the early game content, all that early game TV mode content had more development time than the early game mini game that I'm playing right now. Clearly, because you actually went out of your way to put challenge into the TV mode. You actually went out of your way to make it so that people have to engage with what they're saying in the TV mode. If you made it so that the parry system was like a requirement for some of the floors, and if you didn't parry at the right time, you would just lose, I would actually have to learn the parry mechanic. I would have to learn the dodge mechanic. I would have to learn a bunch of different mechanics, but I don't have to learn those mechanics because you don't put anything in the levels that makes it challenging enough for those mechanics to matter. But guess what? In the TV mode, you do. You do put in mechanics. You do put in stuff where if I'm not paying attention, I can't get through it. So the TV mode is better balanced than the minigame mode, at least for the early game. And I think it's ridiculous that you're going to have Battle for Azeroth, you're going to have Shadowlands, you're going to have retail World of Warcraft new player experience in a game that literally just fucking came out, that's a live service game, that's a single player game, it's not a fucking MMO. So there's no reason to be like, you have to put the good game at the end game, because in the MMO, yeah, everyone's going to rush and it's a multiplayer game, so you can't hold yourself back and enjoy the story or whatever. Yeah, that's how MMOs work. Kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. This isn't a fucking MMO. This is a single player game, so there's no fucking excuse to make the early game dog shit. There's no fucking excuse, miHoYo. There's none. There's zero, right? So you're going to do that. You're going to have that bullshit. And then I'm to find out, after playing the game long enough, that the actual fucking development, like for game, fucking, is this where I go? The flag? Do I go to the flag now? The actual fucking, where all the, like, balancing went, is this, the fucking TV mode. This is where all the fucking balancing went. This is what they were tuning the game around. This is what they were doing. It wasn't the actual game they're advertising. It's this, the TV mode. They didn't show off in live streams for some fucking reason. Probably because they, poured all their money, time, psychologists, all that shit into the fucking TV mode. It was supposed to be the masterpiece of this game, and maybe it still will be. Maybe it's designed for children and people who have the maturity of children, like a bunch of politicians, and shit. It's for those people who just want to have a dumb game with colors to look at and press buttons on. That's what they want to fucking do. That's what the game was designed for. It's not designed for people like me. It's not designed for people like Hex Juice. It's not designed for people who actually want a fucking fun game. It's designed for little children that want to look at colors. That's what this game's designed for, and it's fucking stupid. Why even advertise it as a fun, challenging game with cool gameplay and combat, when in reality it's just a fucking ADD simulator where you just click on sparkly stuff, and then the only stuff you have to engage with is puzzles and shit. That's for fucking toddlers. I don't want to play that game. People want to play this game. Cool, play this game. Hopefully I can get to the fucking end game at some fucking point. Hopefully someone makes a fucking guide video so I can get through this game and actually see what the fucking game has to offer. See the game actually has good shit. Maybe it does. I don't fucking know. But it's bullshit that make the tutorial like 50 hours long, and then you can't even speed run through it because you actually have to engage with a dog shit fucking mini game that I don't want to fucking play, that I'm finding out is the actual fucking game of Zenless Zone Zero, and the game that I wanted to play, that I thought was awesome, that they advertised, that has an amazing framework, is actually just a mini game that takes a backseat to a fucking TV mode that's designed for fucking toddlers. So that's this fucking game. So that's the video. Bye.